All right, we're tracking now. We're tracking. All right. All right. And then what were you saying about the recording? Pause it?
Yeah, you just pause it right away. Recording. All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to lab book number 3. This is on Cloud CMAs and ultimate tools and ultimate client relationships. Inside your handouts, you guys should have the getting to an ultimate database. So on page 1, the first thing that we need to kind of really break down is just current buyer clients. If you don't have any buyers right now, go ahead, just kind of like write yourself in for now. And then everybody in Zoom, you guys should have gotten in, let's see, Debbie, I don't know if you got the lab book. I attached it in the calendar invite. So I don't know if you've got that one, but the lab book is inside of that calendar invite. So there was a PDF in the attachment. So that's what we're working off of today. So realistically, you got to write in a current buyer, someone you're working with, right? Put in their name. And then if you're working with a seller, go ahead and write them in number 2. And then number 3, for those of you at least experienced, put in a past client's name. So you can use Cloud CMA to reconnect with them for the neighborhood market update. Or it's more or less just touching base, wanted to give you an update on what's been going on in your neighborhood. So this next one, number 4, you're going to fill in. And this is pretty much all of you should be able to do this. This is friends and family, either somebody you know from church or PTA, neighborhoods, etc. We're going to prepare a neighborhood market update using Cloud CMA, and then they need to see you as the real estate professional. That's something that you're going to continually need to do throughout your whole career, is that you have to constantly putting yourself out as the expert. And realistically, the way to do that is not just to spam people with emails. It's you literally are going to have to connect with them and present value. And by presenting value, using the Cloud CMA and other tools, you'll be able to utilize everything to basically lift yourself up as the expert. Business to business, you all should be able to do this as well. Write in a local business owner, either a painter, a handyman, contractor, networking group, anything. Business to business is very big. Just by adding business to business into your real estate business, you can see anywhere from a 20 to 25% increase in business, making those connections. Because what do all those people do? They're out talking, doing their business, right? And then you definitely want to tie into businesses that are connected to real estate directly, like roofers. You definitely should be writing down your complete list of everyone that can help work on a property. Cleaners, house cleaners, window cleaners, pressure washers, deck builders, contractors, electricians, sewers people, appliance people. I mean, basically carpet, paint. I mean, every little piece, to the pie, you want to be able to have someone for all of that. That's definitely a huge piece. So knowing your database, obviously, those that matter to you should be a priority for your business. They already like and trust you. As you demonstrate care along with value, they will recommend you to those they care about. So use Cloud CMA, create a market analysis on your home. How confident are you using Cloud CMA? So you have a not accurate at all. So you got a 1, or you got completely accurate, a 10. So go ahead, score yourself. If you never even used Cloud CMA, obviously, you're going to score 1. You've never even used it. So inside of Cloud CMA, we're going to go ahead and jump in. So Tony put in a subject property. Put it in, you know, for the name of the report. This is whoever's going to show as the client. Once you put in the address, Google will find it and it'll pull in the basic, a lot of the other information. And you can add in the subtype, residential. You can add a cover photo. The thing about adding cover photos you have to keep in mind is that they have to be under 5 megabytes. So now our phones are constantly taking much larger megabyte, you know, pictures. Just know that when you email that to yourself, send it as a smaller image. That's one of the ways to get around that. But it's really good for you guys to go, you know, when you're at the property to you know, show up for the consultation, or even if it's just, you know, in the very beginnings of when you're, you know, first meeting the client, get a front landscape photo of the property at its current condition. The cool thing about that is when you actually build the report, they're obviously going to recognize the house. They're going to see, yep, that's my house. That's exactly what it looks like. You know, it's very, very recent. And it just looks more professional on the front page of the Cloud CMA. If you do not add the photo, it will just do a pin placement from like a bird's eye view down on GPS mapping. That's it. It'll just put a little pin from up above. So just not quite as impactful. Now you don't have to fill in all these boxes. You can if you want to, and it'll carry over into certain reports, but not all. You have the multiple choice of either picking exactly your listing numbers from the Northwest MLS, which Northwest MLS does have a connector to Cloud CMA. So if you went through and you did a search and you found your comps, and let's say, you know, put all at least in the same city. Let's say that, you know, all of these houses were the comps that you wanted to include. You basically log into Cloud CMA and you see how there's a Cloud CMA button right into Matrix. You see it right here? You basically, it's 2 steps. One, you have to have Cloud CMA opened. That means you have to have the API running. You've clicked on the quick link from your My Desk, right? You're going to click on the Cloud CMA. Oh, it's opened up, right? It doesn't have to actually be in a CMA. It just has to be open. And then from here, you just click Cloud CMA. It's going to throw all of those into Cloud CMA. We might have confused the system. We'll see what it does. Oh, maybe it will, because you're logged in as your Cloud CMA from your My Desk. So let's see. It did add in all the listing numbers. So you see how it put them all in right there? And this put it in as a brand new CMA. So you have the choice of doing it that way, or you can automatically find the listings near the subject property. It says to get at least 10, only go back 1 year. If you're gonna do what's called the quick and dirty way, make sure you use the more criteria and at least put in like a square footage range. That's, you know, something to at least do. The subject property was how many square feet, Tony? 2270. So maybe we do 1900 to 22, 4, 5, 2500. Somewhere in there. Let's see what's there. So now you got a range of square footage for it to at least find, and you can say fetch listings. So it brings all those in. All the ones that are not highlighted means they're not, the boxes are not checked. So you can go through each one of these. You can click on the notes and adjustments. Now you can click through and look at every photo, see how does it compare to your subject property. All right, so you can do that, look at the year built, and the garages, all that stuff. You can add notes. So each one of these you can open and close. If this one doesn't compare and you're like, no, no way, and then you just uncheck it, now it doesn't show. Right now it's got 2 active, 2 pendings, and 5 solds. And it's got a low of 1,040,000 up to 1.63. Obviously, you got to know the property, you know, you have to be able to look, see the property, know, you know, its condition. This one was built in 1968, it's 4 beds, 3 baths, 2,280 square feet. How does that one compare? Eh.
Yeah, well, the finishes are. Oh, the finishes are good.
Yeah.
They're
Pretty good. So that one went, you know, to 1.6. One's a condo.
lower.
Oh yeah. Yeah, obviously. Should not have a condo. Yeah, you always want to compare apples to apples as much as possible. The rule of thumb, you know, for an appraiser is 1 mile out max and 3 months back for a sale. So 100, you know, 180 is what ours defaults at, but they want to see the bank wants to have proof of value in that range, right? Sometimes appraisers do have to go outside of that box, and they will if they have to, and they have to explain why. And you're gonna have properties all the time that are really hard to comp. And it could be things like, oh, this house has a garage and a shop and an ADU on the top. No other comp, you know, nothing else has that. So it's like, how do you make comparisons? When you get to those types of challenges, then you have to do kind of like break things apart. Now you find something like, how much is it to build a garage shop? How much is it to, you know, does the ADU add in value? So it takes a while to really figure that stuff out. Those types of things, you know, for the newer people, we typically would say, come get help. We'll work with you and try to find comps together and you know, work on getting the pricing figured out. We will have those unicorns, you know, those properties that are just completely unique, you know, and sometimes like we suggest the seller hire an appraiser to appraise it. You know, there's been some really unique, interesting properties that you may have to do something like that. Old school rule of thumb used to be 3, 3, and 3. You wanted 3 actives, 3 pendings, and 3 solds. You may not ever get that these days. There's not a lot of inventory. You may not even have any actives at all. Why you want to have 3 actives is why would you want to see 3 actives?
This market be the current analysis of what's going on in the market. Prices are still going on.
Mm-hmm. And what are they? If you're going to list, who are those going to be? That's your what? That's your competition, right? The backlog of buyers is only so big, right? There's so many buyers that are actively looking right now. Each week, yes, more are coming on and some are coming out of that pool, but the pool of the backlog of buyers is so large, right? They're the ones that are, you know, they're looking and finding the properties. So if you're going to list and you're going to have other active homes around, that is definitely your competition. So you have to look at that. It's definitely important, right? What do you do as a buyer if you're like going to buy a car or buy some other commodity? What do? You compare. 100%. The buyers do the exact same thing. How do they compare? What do they use?
Shopping from different brands, they use brochures, the internet, they make, you know.
You said it. Internet, I mean, apps. They buyers are constantly over 90, the old number used to be 96%. It more or less is probably more like 99% of buyers start out online search. I mean, it's super duper high. So they're using Redfin, Zillow, John L. Scott app, they're using websites, whatever. They're chopping around and they're seeing what is available. What can I go buy? So that's why it's important to pull those actives. Next is the pendings. Why do we want the pendings?
We wanna know what the house sold for, or how many, are selling in that area too as well, to compare, right?
Yeah, so if the actives are at one price, and if it goes pending in a really short amount of time, what does that tell you?
The hot area.
Could be a hot area, hot market.
And then it also kind of gives you an advantage to see what the comparison household sold for. So if you're listing the house for 700 and it sold for 750, you can use that as a tool to negotiate with your listing client of, hey, this house sold for this and stuff like that.
Yeah, what were you gonna say, Jim?
What pendings give you is they don't give you the sales price, but they'll give you an opportunity perhaps to talk to the listing agent, find out, did you get multiple offers?
Mm-hmm.
Because then that price will go up. So it's on the market, then the prices, they might get paid less.
Right.
So, there was one in Marine Hills, went on the market in 10 days, I think about 700. Or so, and it sold for like 6 something. And it's a good area.
Yeah, so the pendings are, it's gonna tell you, it's gonna give you the measurement of the neighborhood. It's gonna give you the measurement of how quick are things going, off the market and selling. But I mean, Jim really hit it on the head. Like, you got to communicate. Like, if you're going to be a fantastic listing broker, your communication has got to be through the roof. You got to be a sleuth. You got to go through and actually investigate these properties. You got to look at these pendings and call the broker. Hey, looks like you were, on the market for 4 days. 4 days. I'm assuming you probably must have had multiple offers. Did you guys sell over asking? If you can get the information, all that's going to do is help you. I mean, you might have had one property where the seller's like asking, like right in this same neighborhood across from this house, and it's the exact same house. Same floor plan. It's exactly the same, pretty much the same updates, right? I mean, when you see that, then you're like, okay, they went pending in 4 days. They listed for 125. You find out they actually got offers all the way up to, 1.3. So they made 50K over their asking. So you can take that data and that information, and now you can talk with the seller. What if the seller said, yeah, we want to list for 1.5? What are you going to do? Is that a good idea? If it's exactly the same house, same floor plan, same updates. Well, why not? My house is better. I have a better light, like angle from the sun, in the morning.
I'll play devil's advocate on this one,
Yeah.
only because I know the house, obviously. What other things on here do you think might make a major difference? Same house, same everything, same similar upgrades.
Same exact upgrades?
The same upgrades, everything.
Could it be the location of the lot, like whether it's a corner lot, center lot?
You're getting closer.
You're getting warmer.
Water view.
The view, right? Or,
Same view.
Motive for the seller?
Oh,
No,
you're going a different route than I thought.
way different. Nothing that's majorly key that you might not think about initially.
Does that have to do with like grass, land,
So look at what high school it is.
school district?
Schools. We always forget, and we can go to school districts, what is it?
Greatschools.com or great.org, .org, one of those.
Greatschools.org, or is it .com?
Yeah, one of those.
Probably does.
So let's assume these two houses are the same. That school district will
Is that
give you
right?
another $200,000. So they're literally on the line. If you see the zip code on that one, it's 98008.
Mhm.
That one's a 98007. But the schools, this one's Sammamish High School, even same school district. But this one's Sammamish. The other one's in Interlake. So it makes a massive difference.
Cool.
Interlake is super sought out after.
Yeah, here you go. There's like different,
Sammamish is not.
Is that the map of the school district or the grade schools?
you can get
You can get all of it.
all of it.
A grades, is it great? Great.
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 Yeah, greatschools.org. John L. Scott actually has great schools built into their website. So you can actually get the bounding areas for the schools, for the properties.
But specifically in that area, because I know it well, there is a line which literally I've seen two houses that are super similar to each other across the street. One sold for $150,000 more than the one across the street, just because of the school.
So literally across the street, just because of the zip code and the school, and the
It's
school.
literally because of the school
It's
district.
just the one, okay, cool.
Mhm.
There you go. Learn something.
So there's a lot of different things, different faccts that will change the values
There
for
are a lot of
sure.
areas that are like that. Issaquah especially.
Oh, yeah.
Issaquah,
That's,
there's 3 schools that are all within. Like even the Klahani neighborhood. They have like 3 different schools that they can go to. So the pricing is based on the school district. Or what high school they're going to go to.
I think makes a difference too, right, how far it is from highways or
No, theoretically, all these are within a mile of each other, so.
just in general.
Is there,
I mean, on the,
Is
is there a site, Tony, that tells you like, there was, used to be a long time, sale times, and put out something like ranking the school districts.
the rankings in great schools.
Oh,
It shows it right in there too. Yep, they give the ranking, everything. All right, so we went over the actives, why actives, why pendings, why do you want solds? Master the obvious here.
It excludes the final sale price, also if there's any sale concession.
Yeah, exactly. It tells what, without a phone call and without information, you will not know what these contracts are at. But once it posts, and publishes in the MLS, you're gonna see, what was the final selling price? Were there concessions? That's great that you brought that up. Were there concessions? So there's the final proof, right? And that's the stuff that the banks need. But when you're doing your CMA, you definitely want some of each. If you can get the 3, 3, and 3, that's the gold, right? Now anywhere, from 5 to 6 or 5 to 7 solds is probably adequate as well. You just want to get them as close as possible to the like, as much as you don't. If you have a Rambler subject property, don't go through and pull, a bunch of your comps are all 2 stories. That just does, it doesn't really work that way. You try to find Ramblers only. Okay, so in here, if you actually know what you believe the value range is, you can set this in here. I know it says set price. If you just put one price, it's actually only gonna show the one price. And you literally could lose out on a listing just because you said one price only. Maybe you definitely want to state a value range, and how tight is the value range all depends on a couple things. How well, the property and the comps and the house is already in good shape. The house is dialed in, like they're not going to change anything else. So, if there's no more updates or anything else that's going to happen to the property, you could probably keep the value range, fairly tighter. But if you go to the house, you see it, and you're like, oh, it's dated, it needs to be updated, it needs, landscaping, it needs new carpets, new paint, new roof, blah, blah, on and on and on and on. Now you can say, okay, this is your value range. Here's the wide value range. The lower one's closer to where we're at now. If you're gonna fix up, do all the repairs, do everything, and then we are at that same level as, the finished level at, these comps that have sold and are gone pending, then we could do our pricing probably to that. But if you try to sell at that same pricing, and these other homes are totally fixed up and fully remodeled, you're probably going to shoot yourself in the foot. A buyer's going to go, why would I pay you 300,000 more, for your house when it's going to take, at least 200 grand to fix it up at that same level as these other homes? Why wouldn't I just wait for for that house to come on the market that's priced right? You had a question, Christian?
Kind of answered. I was gonna ask you, how when you go into realist and you get that ARV.
Yeah.
Range, would you say that's completely accurate?
No, dude, it's as accurate as Zillow, this estimate. It's an AVM. Okay, it's an algorithm crunching numbers. That's all it is. It's averaging out numbers. Automated valuation models are just computers. They're not people. They don't go into the properties. They don't look for things like the school, and they don't look for things even for views and everything else. For the longest time, Zillow, their estimate was anywhere from like 12 to 18% off, either way too high or way too low. They're more or less in the probably 8 to 10% range now. It's gotten a little better, but a computer doesn't have emotion. It can't tell, someone's attachment. Someone could get, we've had houses get bid over by, $500,000. Because they had to have this home for their family that was right next door to another, their other family to take care of, their elderly parents and stuff. Yeah, they're like, we don't care. We're going to pay whatever it takes. They had like 350,000 non-refundable earnest money to the seller. I mean, stuff like that. There's a computer will never be able to figure that out and guess that will happen. Right. So these are the types of things that you're definitely going to have to work through and explain to a seller. But again, value ranges real tight, only if you know what that pricing's probably going to be. And that means you've done a really good job about picking up the phone, calling all the pendings, calling the ones who have been on the market for a long time at their price and like, hey, I'm just checking in, I've got a listing coming up in the same neighborhood, and I'm just curious, have you had many showings? I don't see anything in showing time. Like, you really gotta investigate.
The range is too high, 300,000.
Mhm.
Is it okay?
Yeah, in this case, I gave as an example that they need to do a lot of work to the property. So if they got to do work, you're building in that kind of pillow and explaining to them, this is, the value range I see from the comparables and the data.
A couple things in the past that I've done personally, and I've told agents to do, is go look at the ones that are active physically, and then even sometimes the ones that are pending, you call the agent and say, hey, I'm just, if I can get into if it's vacant or whatnot, but like, if I can still get in, do you mind if I go in and take a look?
Yeah.
Or just talk to the agent, because you're calling the agent anyway, so you can might as well just say, if it's available, can I go just take a quick look, because I have a listing coming up. Most of the time, agents will be cool and let you in, but yeah.
That would be considered a preview showing. When you use showing time and you schedule it, that's what's called a preview. and it'd be just you. But yeah, you've got to make phone calls to the listing broker and explain.
And even the ones that are pending, if they don't let you in,
Yeah,
drives by them. Cause you gotta do the eye test. Like, if yours is the best house in the crappiest neighborhood in that little area, and they're sold for top dollar, but their area, their neighborhood is immaculate, you have to take that into consideration. So you have to do is what I call the eye test, like compare apples to apples. Like, be honest with yourself and say, which house is better? Would you buy, if you were the consumer, would you buy this house or that house?
yeah,
If you were shopping in that area and that price point.
yeah. So tighter value range, if you knew the price and you're like, yeah, no, it's more or less is gonna be 1.6, then you'd probably do, you might do the 1.55 or something, say this is the value range it's coming up with. You would tighten it up if you know what it's really probably going to come in at, because you've done all the research. Now, if that seller goes, well, I was thinking 1.65, or whatever. Okay. If some of the, maybe some of these sales were back a little bit farther, or maybe there's some other like factor that it might sell. I mean, maybe the one sold super fast. Don't lose a listing over price. As long as it's within reason. You might have some people who literally are just going to completely waste your time, and they're like, they'll never be realistic, right? Then it may not be worth it to take the listing. You might have to turn it down. Just like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I can't take the listing. It's just, I don't want to waste your time and my time. It's just, no buyers going to buy it for this much. And if they did, they would have to be cash only. You pretty much are telling the market that you only want a cash only sale, because no appraiser will be able to prove the value to a bank. So they will not get the loan. So you're going to be defeating the purpose of offering financing at all, because it will not finance for that amount, because you don't have the evidence. Your job is not to tell someone how much their home is worth, right? That's the value. And value is always in the eye of the beholder, the person who's buying it. They're the ones who has to, perceive the value to make an offer to buy the property for the price that they want to pay. We don't really set the price. There's a saying in this industry that market dictates price. And then it will always dictate the price. The market does. And so a good way to talk to a seller is like, maybe you've listed too high, is, hey, the market has seen the property, they've reacted in a way of not making an offer. So this tells us our price doesn't reflect market value. The people who've seen it, no one's made an offer, and here is what the reviews have been on the property. This is what we're getting from the showing agents. Price is too high for the condition, stuff like that you're going to hear. So it's always good to get the feedback from the brokers who show your listings to be able to provide that over to the seller. I'm not a big fan of the showing time option to allow the agent to send the thing directly to the seller, because I think it still shows that agent on there. I don't like that, because then if they get it, they might call that broker directly, or, you don't want your seller calling and talking to the other brokers. But you can call and say, hey, I spoke with so-and-so, and they said that they talked with their client, and after seeing, 5 properties around in the neighborhood, they're actually going to make an offer on something else because of our price was too high and the condition wasn't as well. So, that's what you probably have to do. Okay, once you've picked your comps, right? And then you can hit your customized report. It's going to pull in all of the ones that we wanted. By default, the system has got a John L. Scott theme. This one has, Tony's got the exceptional homes. You can roll over on each one of these and you see how it has an eye. That means you can click on it and get the loaded preview. It will show you what it looks like. So it'll show you right where the house is, right? And it'll put the date and adds in your information. Oh, you don't have your, oh, there's your contact me. You got this thing all crazy ordered.
No, man.
You want it at the back?
But you can,
Yeah.
you can play with
You can rearrange these. And contact me. So it shows all your info there, you add your logo, which is awesome. Once you publish the report, the QR code will link to whatever report you print in Cloud CMA. So as soon as you publish it, it has to be published. We're still in the preview, so it won't work. But you actually have to go up and then publish the report. As soon as you do that, it will actually put all this together and throw everything into
and you
a
can make,
PDF.
and you can make it look however you want by just simply sliding them over and moving them over.
Yep.
So it
You
can
just-
be customized.
You can totally customize, rearrange them. It's all up to preference. So each one of these pages you can see. I'll not do this again. Yeah. Oh, there it goes. So this is like part of the luxury version. It gives a breakout of the sold property analysis, breaks it down by price per square foot. There's that value range we gave. It projects a projection for the value for the dollar per square foot based on the properties. So it puts it in this way, based on your square footage to the house and the price per square foot, it's saying the house should sell for 1,415. So it'll totally do that. You have a high, an average, a medium, and a low. Here's the thing about Market Ready Plus, which we need to totally update that thing. Oh, where did that go? There you go. So those are the luxury versions. I'm gonna jump out of this one. Go into here. And that sounds good. Got the Zal's account real quick. His Cloud CMA.
I can't even open
You can't?
it.
Aha. So we will set this up. And if you've never been in Cloud CMA, you will have to go through the setup. And you got to get all the way down to Washington. I went too far. Went Northwest MLS, Seattle. And then last name is
HTAY.
HTA.
One.
What's your phone?
5713.
And all right, you read all of that, right? All right. And put your photo and stuff in here a little bit. Put that in, I'll get rid of my email, but yours. There's it. Get your number again, 206.
403. 5713.
Another BRE number, and then you know your lag number and password. I'll have you log in. Flag number? There you go, and then tab down. Or want me to- there you go. And then put in your MLS password for. Jonathan, have you done this yet too? Okay. You're definitely gonna need this. So I mean, you got yours. All right. Okay, we will save.
Would you send it in email, PDF file, would you send it both?
Email is really cool.
Real quick. Thank you, sir.
Like if you know.
Yeah.
The first week.
People are tech savvy, but he'll show you right now. The way the view on it, when you interactive, it's interactive. When you.
All right. Doing there. All right. We're back. All right, so we gotta go to account settings. So we should be in here now. Your account is up and ready. Want to change your avatar. Oh. Do that again. It's not gonna let it.
You have to do it first.
Yeah.
Really great thing for you.
Yep. Okay. Change. Try it again. Guess I did not like that. Try it again. Doing. Change. There we go. So you kind of have to want to shrink it in a little bit. That means that your PNG wasn't quite cut in exact, like it must be over on the left a little bit with the transparency. There we go. All right, so we'll save that. Contact info, let's check, see if it got it all. I don't know why it never does that. I'll have to add one last thing. Now. Email that and then we'll move the address. All right. Now we are good to go. So now we can go to CMA. Let's go to matrix. We're going to pretend that we're going to use those as our comps. We're going to send it to Cloud CMA. Okay. Your subject property, we need something really close. Let's see. We'll click and open this one. Let's go to the property map. And I think we should be able to go, let's say it's the neighbor. Which one? Oh, right here. Come on. Uh, 2706. 61st. Avenue Southeast Bellevue. Okay. It brought in the beds, the bath, square footage again. Residential. 2210 square feet. We've got our listings. Now we can hit fetch. Oh, oops, I left the client. Okay, fetch the listings. Okay, so pulls up those houses. Looks like the lowest is 1 million, highest is 4.6 for the comps. Which I added a bunch of those other ones. Wow, and there's only actives? Oh, because I selected actives. I told it what to put in there. That's right. So you find in your comps, that's the way to kind of do it. If you wanted to, you can go back to your criteria. We can do quick. And we can say 10. More criteria. Cap it at, we'll do 2100 to the 2250. We're making it pretty tight. And now we can say update. And it's going to add more. We should be able to get some solds. So yeah, now it's got 5, 4, and 11, but it's got some that are a little farther away into the, subject properties right here. And you got quite a bit of different ones. You could exclude all, include all. So I'll exclude all, go through. You can look at each one. For the time's sake of class, we're just going to pick some of the closest pendings. Probably too much. 1.4 million. All right, so got our comps, put in our price range. We'll do the 1.3. Okay, now we can customize the report. There is one really good custom template. I got to add one more page. I almost forgot. So before I totally customize this, when you first start out, it's going to give you, with the John Scott theme, it's going to give you everything. So we need to, we'll go through and remove those ones, but let me first, I'm going to publish it. So it finishes it and saves it and puts it in the cloud. And then I'm going to actually go and add in a custom page. One of the custom pages that we give you to add is the marketing plan. If you have a marketing plan in your listing presentation, your win ratios go up 20 to 30% alone, just by having the marketing plan. Because most brokers don't say how they're going to market the house. So once it finishes this, I'm gonna go ahead and jump up and add in that custom page. We will be getting a brand new one for Market Ready Plus. For Cloud CMA, it's a single page like thing. That's, yeah, I've been asking about that. Boy, this is taking a while. It's a lot of pages. It's probably gonna be like 100 pages. Here, we'll pull it up just to see, but my guess is gonna be a lot.
You do the view live too.
Yes, oh yeah, definitely gonna do that. Yeah, 154 pages. I mean, this would be just overkill, right? Given that all the housing forecasts for the
How
area.
many pages do you think is perfect, number for one?
You probably want about that 60 to 80 range, because remember, you're gonna print these double-sided on the nice flyer paper and put them in the unibinds books, because then it's gonna be an actual book that they'll take away from this. So I'll show you. I'm gonna set Zal's as a template, so he won't have to do this ever again. It'll be permanent. So we got to do custom pages real quick.
And again, it depends on your client.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
You got to read the room, know your client. You know, if they're like, you know,
Everything. and-
Tony, you guys saw my luxury template. It was simple to the point. There's some that I'm gonna give them way more. You can set up multiple templates like he's about to show you. So you don't have to just stick with one. You can have like simple, complicated.
yeah,
Or an engineer is gonna want.
engineer
all the-
All
version.
the breakdowns.
Yeah,
reads
give them an
everything.
engineer version
That's
of
like a
everything.
164 page guy.
Yeah,
I'm
That's
the
the
guy that's
164
10, 20 and I'm
page.
good.
right. So all depends on the client. In here, you've got the custom pages. They have a thing called an agent resume. You can edit and see. It basically gives you a little template, and you can totally customize these. I'm not a big fan of these ones. The cover letter is a good one though. I do like this one. This is something that it automatically it'll completely write it for you and put in the client's name. It'll add in the client's, the date, and it'll add in your information automatically. That one's a cool one. Listing paperwork overview, like it's, you know, I wouldn't do this one. I would more or less explain a lot of these ones. Their marketing action plan, this is what theirs looks like. First week, second week, third week. For one, you're holding open houses on the very first weekend. I mean, this is not a very good marketing plan. Funny thing is I had a newer broker. She came in and she's like, Eric, I won this listing. I won it. I beat the other brokers on it. But the sellers told me the only reason they are going with me is because I was the only one who had a marketing plan. She's like, I don't know what they're talking about. And I'm like, oh, I know what it is. You left a marketing plan. You left it in your CMA. She's like, where? I have no idea what they're talking about. But she got the listing signed, and what it was, we went through and pulled up into her account, and sure enough, the marketing action plan was in there. Nobody else had one. And so they chose her based because she had a marketing plan, and they were worried that the other people weren't going to market it for her. So this one's not very good because it's not accurate exactly how we do things, but need to have something, right? So, and don't use our company one. There's enough stuff on there. John Scott's known well enough in the Pacific Northwest for you to add that in here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't really need that. So you do have a section here for custom PDF pages. If you go over and beyond like a full, like complete consultation for staging and doing, you know, all these other like types of things for your listing, I would get with McKenna and get a custom PDF made for just that, so that you can upload in this section, and then you can make that part of your presentations on every one of them. So do stuff like that. Let's see. I think I have this on the desktop still. Oh, yeah, 5-step marketing plan. So here we go. So adding in that custom page is definitely the way to go. So let me get into our Cloud CMA again. Beauty about Cloud CMA being in the cloud is that if you're working on something here, you shut down, go home, log on the internet, get in, go into your My Desk, click into the Cloud CMA, you can get right back to where you were. So we can go into this one. It tells you like when was it made. You can copy it, view the slideshow, email the report by hitting the little menu button. And I'll show you what the live report looks like when we finish. So I'm going to edit this one. We're going to go straight to customizing because we've already gone through the listing. So you can jump right ahead. So I need to get rid of a bunch of these items. We don't need none of this stuff. Plus housing forecasts get stale May 1st. If you're handing out the forecast, you're already in May for the same year. Doesn't make sense. Those are gold though in the beginning of the year all the way up to May. Have those at your open houses, send those to your clients. Those are those ones are amazing and people love them. We're going to pull out all of these. We don't want none of these ones. Basically all the way up to the title page is the first one we want. Okay, cover letter, that's that one I told you about. It's basically we'll put whoever you put in as the seller's name, it will put it in right here. It just says, I appreciate the opportunity to share my business plan with you. In order to inform you about the current happenings of today's market, I have prepared this comparative market analysis, CMA, especially for you. There are many properties on the market today, and each has different amenities, sizes, and values. By reviewing the CMA, you will have the information needed to price your home in the appropriate range in today's market. Home buyers always do a lot of comparison shopping. In today's market, it's especially important to price your home right from the beginning and get it to show ready. There are many homes available in all price ranges, but the homes that are priced right and show well are the ones that bring in qualified buyers. Part of this package, including a detailed copy of my personal marketing plan, we will certainly go over this in detail so that you feel comfortable to entrust your home sale to me. I'm sure that once you review the plan, you'll feel very satisfied with me marketing your home. My goal is to help you sell your home quickly and at fair market value. I look forward to working with you on the sale of your home. Boom. So it automatically has that. You could print it and with your package and then sign it. But that automatically goes in. Agent resume, get rid of that one, get rid of your review things, our company. What is the CMA? Next will be your contact me. So this automatically will pull in your info, puts in your website. Once this is digital, these all convert to linkables, so that basically they can email you, they could call you right from it, they could go to your website and they can jump to your address of the office. And then of course the QR code will work for the full report. It automatically brands all of your information at the bottom of every single page. Map of all the listings, we definitely want that. It's going to show where's the comp subject property, or excuse me, where's the subject property, where's all the comps, is it pending ones, active ones, red ones or sold ones. So you can see where everything's at. How did it get an 860 in there? Oh, I didn't uncheck the other ones, did I? Yeah, I guess I didn't. So brings in those. Okay, summary of the comparables, you want that. Listing details. So here's the details to each one. Now you got the photos. I usually don't do the more photos and never do adjustments unless it's one crazy unicorn property. Statistics, online value analysis, you want sold property analysis, buyer market analysis. I prefer the buy side BMA version compared to this one. This one's too short and doesn't give all the other info. Suggested list price only shows up if you do the price range or that that little box. If you put some in there, then this page will show. Seller net sheet, I never use this one, it's terrible. The marketing action plan, that's that one that's generic. Why you need that? Intelligent pricing and timing. This is the one that shows, right? This is what you want. First impressions are lasting, you know, like that one. Showings and open house checklist. This is something you can hand off to the seller when you go to your consultation, just like the moving checklist. Like those two, I would have that for your separated pre-listing packet. Features that sell, remove that. Selling your home in a tough market, negotiating with buyers. What's a short sale? Online home values in your home. This one kind of gives an explanation about, you know, if you got someone who talks about Zillow and Trulia and e-appraisal, you know, you might want to include it, but I don't do that one. I do this one. Don't do that one. Testimonials is a really good one. You want to customize this. Realistically, I would get with McKenna and get some custom PDF made of a page that can go up behind your information or something that talks about your reviews. That's a good one. The testimonials are good. And you don't need that one. Value of your home is good. So we just need to add in the custom page of the 5-step marketing plan. And that should definitely come up after your price. So we'll look at this. And you will see, talks about step 1, power professional photography. Step 2, seller listing launch, engage your community. It's all about the backlog buyers. Step 3, comprehensive marketing strategy. We market your home to showcase your home in the largest audience. Step 4, digital marketing. And then step 5, your online presence. We're local and we're global. Your listing is going to show up in 65 countries. So, you know, through johnlscott.com because of leading RE. So it's like 487 websites total. You can get a printout of all of the actual websites if you wanted to. It's like 4 pages. It's a little overkill, but some clients love it. All right, so now we've got all of that detailed and put together. So let's go ahead and save this template. We're going to do a custom, and we're naming this. If you call this web lead, this will be your default system CMA. So now we don't have to change it to anything else, and we publish the report. And every time you come in now, it's going to be those pages in that order. So now you'll be able to do these. And I'm going to show you guys the other stuff for buyer tour, property, and a flyer. And home beat we don't do. Our John L. Scott property trackers way better. You have the option of view the PDF or view live view. We'll go view the PDF first, so you guys can see what this report looks like. So from here, again, if you can get that front photo, do you see like how much of a difference it's going to make on your report when you do that? There's the letter, your info, the map. Now you got the summary of the comps, summary of the averages of the actives, the pendings, and the solds. Now it's going to show each comp, details, inside, outside photos for each one. So this is a total of 38 pages. Once you do your BMA for the buyer market analysis and you do that one in a PDF also, you'll be able to add both of those on nice paper printed into your unibinds and then bind it. And then that's what you'll end up giving to the seller. You'll take your black box with you to go with the presentation, and that's basically your ready to go kit. You could have your listing agreement in there, ready, signed, all ready to go. You just need their signature, and then you've got your listing. So there's the comparable, breakout, online values. What was the estimate? What was the actual selling price? When did it sell? So those ones are a lot tighter. Look how close those were into what the Zestimate was. The thing is, though, Zillow cheats. Zillow will have a Zestimate, as soon as you list the property, what do you think they do? They update the Zestimate to what you listed it at, very, very close to what you listed at. They have a program that basically changes the Zestimate for that property. So then it makes it look like it's, yeah. So then here's your sold price per square foot breakout. And then here's that value range we put in, and then the breakout of on the high to the low to the median and an average. Here's your 5-step marketing plan. Intelligent pricing and timing. The value of your home. And now that's the full PDF. So take out your phone and go to your camera, and now you can go to the QR code here. And you can scan this. It's the full PDF of what we have printed. You've got the whole thing. All right, let's look at the view live. It's going to pull this all into a live presentation. You can, do this over Zoom with a client, stuff like that. So it goes through, some of this other stuff. What's a CMA? Marketing action plan, commission distribution. Some of these things are what's really good. The other stuff's kind of like, see, if we go to the marketing action plan, it's that same thing. It's just that one thing that we had you guys, basically say we're going to do something better anyway. You got that. You can jump from left and right to go through these. This is the good ones though, showing someone like, hey, this is here's the subject property. Here's this house. You can jump to where this one's at. You can literally go through each comp by comp. You can slide down the table. And then this one's awesome to see. Oh, here's where they averaged. Here's the highest, here's the lowest. You can see which one was that. Click on it. Go to the average price per square foot. This one's really cool. And then you can kind of slide around. Which house was this one that was, pending? Here's that active one. That one's 3.2. They're on the water. Do you want to include this comp? No, take it off. And it'll recalculate your other stuff. Here's your time to sell, 5 days on market, about 105% of list price is average. Yeah, this is gold too. You can see where they went from pending, where the solds are into the pricing levels, and how many days on market. And then you can see each one of these, how many days it took to get an offer secured. Right? Pretty fast. Pendings. 44 days. Something wrong with that. 44 days took to go pending. Yeah. And then here's the actives. 19 days and 1 day on the market. Yeah. The most expensive. And it highlights too which one's the most expensive and puts that on there. So it's pretty cool to be able to go through and see that. Hold on a sec, where's oh yeah. You can take your pen tool thing here. You couldn't see it because it was hiding, but you can say, hey, this is the one that's 3. This guy's 2.4. They've got the ADU in the garage. If we build the garage, with the ADU on your house, then we can actually get up to their price point. So you can use that as a tool, to basically go over the comps and write.
The yellow one is like from up to down or like what? Why is that?
Oh, for that one's the 2 pendings.
Oh, okay.
There's two pendings. One's at this price, one's at that. That's how high or the difference in price. Mhm. Close off the pen. Online values, same thing. Where were they? And then to your suggested list price. This is cool, comparing the price with the comps. You can scroll it up, scroll it down as you're talking. So you go to the solds. Said 1.7, that's 5% above, 6, 7, 8%. Oh, you want 12% above, 11% above their price. See, it's pretty cool how you can actually use that to slide the scale and show, and then same things for actives, 31% below. You needed to edit this, now you can change it, edit it on the fly, and save it, and then back home. So it's pretty cool. Got little videos and stuff too, if you wanted to go through stuff. How's the MLS different from Zillow? How to know my home is, what my home is worth? How do I know that my agent will share my listing and with every active buyer? I mean, you might get some of these actual questions, so. And that's that old marketing plan. No, that's how you present live view. You can email the report, copy the PDF link, copy the live link, do it that way. Buyer tours,
Like
No.
the live link?
no, it just stays there. Yep, whenever you need it. Buyer tour, great. This is really good. Basically, just take your MLS numbers. Let's go back. Back to the dashboard. It's going slow again. All right, so go to your listings. You basically find the listings you want to go to. You just need to copy the MLS numbers. This one you can't push to Cloud CMA to the buy to it. It'll only go to a CMA. So if you're creating a buyer tour, name the client, MLS numbers, just go down the line here. Grab another Kirkland. And yeah, we'll go Redmond too. Okay, if these are the homes you're gonna go show, this is what you would put in here. You'd fetch the listings. So from here, here's all the listings, right? Now you can customize the report. Here's your title page. You don't want that one again. Here's contact you. Home buying process. If you use, maybe for somebody new, might keep that in, but probably not. Map, yes. Listings, details. Buyer comment sheet. I kind of like this one at the back of each. Okay, then the schools, area restaurants, and then the online estimates. So this is a good one to take, to give to clients as you're like going to go show. Because then they could take their notes, they could see all the stuff, they could see the schools for that house, they can call the schools, they can, check up on all the stuff, they can see the area restaurants, how close is the restaurant, what type of a restaurant, and what is the rating of the restaurant. So shows where the houses are. Here's the first house, inside, outside photos, and now a sheet for them to write down notes and make rating star. And here's the schools. How close is that school to the house? What type of the school and the phone number for each. Same thing, restaurants. Route 522 tap room. It's a beer bar. It's 2.2 miles away. Here's the ratings, 264 reviews on Yelp. Looks like almost, 4.5 stars. This one's 5 stars. So burger place, Bonds 1000 Spirits in Woodinville. So it gives you some cool, insight that the client can see now. Next house, same thing, inside, outside photos, your rating sheet. Right? And then the schools, area restaurants for that one too.
Can we add grocery stores if possible?
No, it only pulls from the systems. Yeah. And then the online valuation for each of those, what it's saying. All right, so that's the buyer tour. Next is property. Property is something like maybe you guys will be doing for your open houses. So this is a really, really good one for open house. Okay. All you need is the MLS number. It'll fetch it. It'll pull the photos and it adds in those other sheets, but these are great packets to put together. Title, contact, listing photos, school, restaurant, online, down payment, and we'll get rid of these ones. And that one doesn't even work anyway. And then we will publish this one. It's very similar to that buyer tour, but the property report is really, really good for open houses. Or if it's a buyer who went and showed and they're like, yeah, we really like this house, give them this report, say, here, I'm going to send you the property detail, full report. And it'll give them all of this stuff, all those inside, outside photos, the schools, restaurants, online value. So that thing's a lot better than, just giving them a flyer. Because it doesn't have anything with the restaurants, nothing with schools, and it gives a little bit of detail. And a lot of times those are hard for the client to read. So if you need to do a flyer, like a very, very quick flyer, like I need to print flyers super fast. I don't have time for McKenna to even, do full reports or excuse me, to create anything custom or anything. You can just put flyer 1, whatever. Put in the MLS number, fetch the listing, and it can make a quick flyer for you. Like in seconds. All you got to do is now choose the layouts. Like boom, it just, quick flyer, that's flyer 1. Probably flyer 7 is probably one of the favorites. So there you go. Made a flyer for the property, QR code, scan, and it gives the same breakout of that information. And then boom, you just publish it, turns it into a PDF. Quick.
No worry. You don't have to go to McKenna for everything.
Well, I know, yeah. If you're in a pinch and you needed to get
So you're gonna the home is you're doing this the home and print your face and the home.
if you're doing an open house, yeah, because you got permission to do the open house. Yeah. If it was something you're not doing an open house for, you can't just print flyers for a property that's not your listing. You'll get in trouble.
Okay.
Yeah. From the broker who could turn you in. All right, so that's Cloud CMA in a nutshell. We do have some other things in here. You can do lead generation from it. I 100%, that's why some of this book, it's dated a little bit because we didn't have buy side at the time of this. But we can use Cloud CMA on page 2 for listing presentations, home books, buyer tours, what's your home worth, and then we don't use that one. We don't use the home, what's your worth thing. This thing's just doesn't work as well. But you can do some pretty cool things with Cloud CMA. If you, let's see. If I did this, let me see, I'll do a property. I'll do this one real quick. Internet's going slow. Okay. I'm just gonna show you a couple last things. So if you wanted to, you could have your phone set up with Cloud CMA. You just have to, let's see, I'll show you how to do it. Hey Siri, send an email to Cloud CMA. Oh, it's fine. Hey Siri, send an email to Cloud CMA.
What's the subject of your email?
Eric Schull.
What would you like your email to say?
2716 Southwest 330th Street, Federal Way, Washington, 98023.
Here's your email message to Cloud CMA. Ready to send it?
Send.
Okay, I'll send it.
So I'm just did a CMA on this property from just having Cloud CMA as a contact.
So you have an app on your phone?
Nope.
No.
Create a contact. The first name of your contact is Cloud. Their last name is CMA. Their email address is CMA at, no, it's not in there. CMA at cloudcma.com. And what it does is it's basically does a quick and dirty off of the address. And what you need to do is when I told Siri to, to write it, to send an email. Who's the email going to? Cloud CMA. That's my contact.
CMA.
So it's CMA at cloudcma.com. And look at that, my CMA is already back. Look, boom. It just made a CMA on that property for me. And so that even a minute?
You have to have like a presetting for that, or like a template?
Nope.
What if it does like all that 154 page?
Well, that you have to have your template set or it's gonna make that page. Yeah. Yeah, mine made 57 pages. Like literally, it just pulled a quick and dirty right around that house. Well, so if you're working with investors and stuff like, man, I'm thinking of flipping, what do you think about this thing? Go here, let me send this, I'll send you a CMA in a minute or whatever. It will pull up. The only thing that it'll, in the quick and dirty, it's going to pull, I mean, it could pull expireds, it could pull rentals, it could pull a whole bunch of stuff. That's the only problem. But sometimes it does really, really good. This one actually looks pretty damn good. I don't see any rentals. Yeah, I don't see any rentals in it, but you can easily do something like that. So you can use your JLS app to also add in some elements of Cloud CMA. But realistically, you want to utilize your actual black box to, have everything all in there together, put it together. Visuals are important. It's really good if you can add trend graphics into Cloud CMA as well, and you can easily do that, which we'll do that on another class. But neighborhood reviews, if you want to do Cloud CMAs, even for like, neighbors, you can, as you do door knocking and you say, let me know if you would like a free Cloud CMA. I can, go ahead and, send you a report, for your whole entire, community. So that's a good one to get business. All right, you guys, that is class for today. Thank you for making it. Again, so sorry for showing up a little bit late. Thank you, Tony, for jumping in. And we'll see you guys on the next one.